Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Ghost and Elite Officer pack from the Halo 5 line of Mattel figures. These are both really cool toys, but before we take a closer look at them, let's go ahead and take a look at their packaging. Here it is. As you can see, it's got a nice window here on the front. And for some reason it's got a picture of Master Chief instead of a picture of a ghost or an elite officer. Kind of strange to me, but whatever, it's not a big deal. On the side here, it's got another picture of Master Chief. Then it's got the other figures that were released in this wave here on the side. And then on the back, we finally get to see a picture of the ghost and the elite officer. So here's one with him riding it. Here's one showing how all of the armor for the Elite is removable. And then down here, it shows the fully armored Elite. So I'm imagining this is going to be fairly standard packaging for the vehicle line of figures. So let's go ahead and get back to the review itself. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Ghost here. In its completely shrunk down form here, and I'll talk about that feature here in a second, but at its smallest here, it is about 11 inches long, and then about, I'd say 9 or so inches across, maybe a little bit under 9 inches. So it's almost identical in size to the McFarlane Reach Ghost. As you can see here, this one's a little bit longer, but this one's a little bit wider, so they take up about the same amount of space on your shelf. And this vehicle here, in a lot of ways, is just an exact copy of this one here, aside from the design. And let me go ahead and talk about that. So, if you're familiar with the Reach Ghost, you'll know that the seat can be pulled out so that you can fit the Elites on there without having to have a larger vehicle. But then you can push it in, and then that's accurate to the game. So, I'm glad that they've added that here on the Halo 5 version. You know, it's just a nice feature on the original one. It's got turrets up here that swivel, just like the Reach one. Has flaps down here on both sides that move just like the Reach one. And then it's got, I guess these would be the throttle. They both move. They've just got a little hinge there and they move up and down. So again, just like the Halo Reach one. But there is one improvement that they've made that I think kind of adds to the vehicle, and that is by adding peg holes for a stand that's included. So one thing about this stand that I really like is it's got this 3-point system that actually allows the Ghost to swivel on the base. It's just a little bit extra. They didn't have to do it, but they did, so I appreciate it. And then it, of course, is removable if you don't like the base. You don't have to use it. And then it's made of this clear plastic. Unfortunately, they didn't mold two sides to it. So it's a one-side sculpt. So one side here is completely flat, and then the other one is sculpted and interesting looking. So I wish they had either molded them solid or made two pieces that you can glue together, you know, that were glued together at the factory to make it a 3D, completely 3D piece. So that's one complaint I have about the stand there. As far as the vehicle goes, you can fit the Elite Officer and your Spartans onto this vehicle. With the Elite Officer, what I had to do is remove the piece of armor that goes over his lower back here. You don't have to, but it makes him sit a little bit more comfortably on the Ghost, which kind of is, you know, a good reason to have this removable armor. You don't notice that it's gone while he's sitting there, but it definitely does make an improvement in his like posture. Like, it looks more natural on the vehicle. And then, of course, the Spartans are way more posable, so they fit on there with no problem. So aside from that, there's not a whole lot else to talk about the Ghost. So let's go ahead and talk about the Elite Officer figure. So here he is. He stands at, let's see, about 6 3/4 inches tall. So I think overall, I think that these Elites are just a little bit under scale, but I don't think it's a huge deal. They're close enough that it doesn't bother me. And then he comes with one accessory, not including the Ghost, of course, and that is the carbine. This is a really cool looking accessory. It's nice and large. It does come with weapons pegs. He actually comes with two of them, one of the shorter ones and one of the longer ones, and that's good because if you lose one, obviously you'll have a couple backups there. And this gun does fit in his hands fairly well. It's a little bit awkward because of the way they've sculpted the wrist joint here. As you can see, it kind of swoops down, which helps kind of, and it also kind of hurts. So he's got to hold the gun up a lot higher to make him look down the sights. It looks a little bit strange when you're posing him, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. You know, it's not like a deal breaker or anything. As far as the figure's articulation goes, it's basically the same as the Elite Zealot figure. So I'll go ahead and run through it here. When you take off the helmet, there's a swivel there at the base of the head. And this one does have a different head sculpt, I believe, than the other one does. I don't have the other one at hand, so I'm not for sure, but I think it might be different. It looks different to me. Then he's got a ball peg at the base of the neck there that lets it move around. Ball hinge shoulders with a nice range of motion. Also goes 360. He's got a hinge at the elbow. And let's see, does it not swivel? No, it does. It was just kind of stuck there for a second. Then he's got a hinge at the wrist and a swivel. He's got a ball peg in the torso that gives him a fairly decent range of motion. He's got T-jointed hips. They do let them go out to the side nice and far. They don't really kick too far forward. They go a little bit back. So that's basically the range of motion you should expect there. There is a thigh swivel. And in the Elite Zealot review, I did make a mess up. I didn't realize this. You can kick the legs way forward. Even though this is kind of dumb, it's not as limited as I made it look in the Elite Zealot review. So even though I don't think I would ever use that range of motion, it is there. And then I believe he's got hinged ankles, but with the armor on, you're basically not going to use them. That's just the design of the armor. That's not really Mattel's fault at all. So overall, as far as this pack goes, do I think it's worth it? Yes, definitely. The new Ghost is really cool. You get another Elite figure. I really like the purple on this guy, and it does have some paint variation in person. Some of the parts are more flat and others are more shiny, which look nice. So I definitely recommend this pack, and I think for the price, it's a really nice deal. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comment section below, and I guess I'll see you later.